Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open for Business. And I tell you what, we bring on some of the coolest people that are open for business.
Yes.
You know, we were making sure that everybody out there knows that these people exist. They're here. They're strong. They're going. They're not going anyway. So I've got Lindsey White, who is a real estate lender and author.
Yes, I am. That's what they tell me.
So rumor has it, you know how rumors are. You got a book coming out.
I do.
What?
I'm so excited. Yes.
I mean, you've been on our shows before as in another world,
Mhm.
right? But now you're writing about that world, which is
Intimidating, scary,
right?
exciting. I get all the words. Let's go.
I mean, so what? Okay, what's your why? Why did you go? Oh, you know, I need to write a book.
Over the years, as I talk about things that have happened to me or talk with friends or speak for work purposes, I have been hearing a common theme. Oh my gosh, you need to write a book.
Right.
Since I was 12, my family therapist, when our family was going through a lot of things, had said, Lindsey, you're dealing with this really well. You should write a book. What 12-year-old listens?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
But it was planted in my head however many years ago.
Right.
And so at one point this past year when I went through even more hurdles that I do not wish this on my worst enemy, what I've gone through in the last year and a half, I said, you know what? I can do this. And by the grace of God, I met a woman who is published in over 24 countries.
Right.
She's written more than 80 books, 70 sometime, New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, all the Amazon best-selling author. So I knew I had something to say and I need to say it.
Right.
But I did not want it to be just a memoir or maybe a biography. Like that wasn't
Or
me.
blow steam off book.
Yeah, no. Or not some CEOs, like I'm not a CEO, but puff
right.
piece where it's just, I mean, I didn't have a direction until this last year, everything that's happened.
I think you're a CEO, a creative executive officer.
Of my life, yes.
That's right. You are a CEO, girl.
Of Lindsey, I'm
Own that.
Yes.
Right?
Funny story, segue. When they ask you what you want to be when you grow up in every class, it was always a math teacher. And then it was math professor when I learned there was a difference.
Ooh, yeah.
And then instead of dreaming of like my wedding, I just wanted a corner office on Fifth Avenue with white carpet in New York. Like that's what I told people. And I was like, that's my dream.
That's your
we
dream.
all have dreams.
Right? Well, you got to have them, right?
I know. But back to your original question, of why? I feel like when I talk, I'm always trying to find, if you're talking to me about an issue, I'm trying to find the positive or just remind you of the positive.
You are. And I have to say, as long as I've known you, and it's only been a couple of years, you always try to spin the positive. And I think that's really great. That's a good thing. So.
Hence the subtitle of the book, which I secretly kind of like more than the title, only because it's more descriptive.
Okay.
So the subtitle is 24 Ways I Flipped Failure and Mastered My Disaster.
That's really
Let
good.
that sink in. 24 is a reason.
Right.
Flipping failure, because every time I talk to anyone, it's just like, okay, but, let's do this. I tell people all the time, come to me with a problem and a solution. Even if it's not the solution, don't just complain.
Right.
Talk to me about maybe something you could do to make it better.
Right.
Or I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, we talk about this.
Right.
So the book is kind of like my best friend, Jessica, handing me a glass of wine or a bottle of wine and a blueprint for like a no BS blueprint of how to get out of your own way.
Ooh.
So we're taking all that and I'm like, okay,
Right.
it's not like self-help. It's definitely not a biography. That would be really boring. If you just read about my life, you'd be like, most people would be like, been there, done that.
Right.
Watched her go through all this.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You have a sign over there that says Bobby White Foundation. That's my dad's name. Sorry. I just got totally caught off guard.
See, I told you. I know a bunch of people named White.
Yeah. So the premise of the book is getting out of your own way.
Right.
Learning how to flip your own failure. Failures are okay. It's what you do with them. But then also we all have disasters. You're going to have a disaster through your entire life. But what do you do with it?
Right.
So make the mound, get to
You
the
got to
top of
have
it.
failures. You have to fall down.
Right. And people that say they don't. I mean, I don't
they're
think
not telling you the
even
truth.
the Tony Robbinses of the world. No. They do. They openly talk about it. And if you're not willing to talk about it, you haven't gotten to that point yet where you've learned your life lesson.
That's correct. Failing is just does nothing but teach me. Go, okay, I can't do it that way again.
Right.
Now, if you keep doing that again, that's.
So I'm that person that has to put their hand on the stove, maybe twice. I'll admit, and be like, oh yeah, no, we tried that.
That's not all that is hot. Dang. Right.
Yes.
So that's a great why. But what's a 24? I got to know now. Now I have to know, and I know read the book, but now I got to know.
There's multiple meanings, and you may not get it when you start reading it.
Okay.
Remember in school when you had little numbers in your backpack hooks, like in first grade, and they numbered you?
Yes.
Well, my last name is White. I was frequently at the end of the line, so I was either 23 or 24, kind of always.
Right.
Went to a small private school, so I was always in the back. Never got to be in the front.
Gotcha.
And one day I was like, I'm gonna marry someone with a last name at the beginning of the alphabet. Like that was like my goal. With the white carpet and on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
But the 24 starts there. I was also born on August 4th, and so 8/4.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
My half birthday, back it up, would be February 4th.
Yep.
I decided to launch the book on February 4th of 24, 2424.
Yes, gotcha.
There are 24 chapters. Now I'm gonna pause. I've gotten some feedback and everyone's like, 24. I'm like, do you think they're like this thick chapters? I said, come on. And it matches my personality.
Right.
Short, digestible, read it, move on.
Quick read.
Per
channel, per chapter.
Right. So every chapter has structure. It's not just free flow. There's tips from mom in there. So my mom's part of the book.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's in all the meetings and she's helping me write it. And what's cool is she's also giving like a mother or guardian's perspective of all the things that are going on.
Right.
We also have someone who's passed away who's actually tattooed on my hip. Her name
she has a tattoo.
Not her
we
face.
just found out she has a tattoo.
I have 10. Right?
I would have. No.
Well, here's 2. Here's 2.
Yeah, but everybody gets them here.
No, well, that's Faith, and that's my mom and I have matching heart tattoos.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know. She wanted to get one for her 70th birthday.
Mom? Wow.
Yeah.
You have a cool mom.
Oh, yeah. She's so cool.
So cool. That's right there, see?
So that's the 24. So it's launching 2424.
Right.
That's a Sunday. And half birthday, and the number, I was born on the 4th, 24 chapters.
24 chapters.
So that's kind of.
See, that's the kind of books I like. If I am going to try to read, I want something I can hit it and go, oh.
You're not in a chapter for like, 50 pages. You're like, what's happening again?
Yeah,
and lose. What's the point?
Right.
What are we getting at? What's going on here?
So you're telling me we can make a movie out of this?
Oh dear God.
Well, that's where
I'm sitting going like, who would be me? Like, there's only one Lindsey White on this planet, and you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We couldn't handle 2, could we?
My brother-in-law Tommy frequently has told me he's known me since I was 12 or 13. He's been in our family's life for a long time. Sometime in college, he was like, "It's going to take a special person, Lindsey." So it's like my headline. Like it's like a warning sign.
That's great. Oh my gosh. Okay. So see, it's 24 chapters. So that's what I get it.
Maybe we shouldn't call them chapters because that could sound intimidating. We should.
I say segments.
20. Okay. We'll come up with a cool word.
Yeah. Let's go find it. We'll find it. I mean, you can probably come up with a cooler word, but I'm just a TV guy.
Shirley Jumpkin, who's my collaborative ghostwriter, and that's totally her job.
Absolutely.
We have really cool chapter names though.
So your website's even up already, right?
Correct. It is.
And I was looking at it earlier. It is absolutely beautiful.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it. I didn't do that. That's not me.
You got to find people.
Yeah, you do.
That is not my strength, right? So this is part of the book. I know my zone. I know my lane. I'm really good at mortgages. I'm really good at lending.
Right.
Don't tell me and don't try to do my job.
Right.
But I'm also not going to try to do your taxes.
There you go.
Or recommend insurance.
There you go.
And I'm just staying in like kind of the real estate lane there.
Right. Stay in your lane.
But that is my lane. So
that is your lane.
Tech, IT, color stuff, not my thing.
Right. So, I learned, I listened to your talk at an RGA meeting, right? Mm-hmm. And I did not know.
Which one?
I know. But the last one I was at, over in Oldsmar or wherever that's.
Okay.
I did not know that your health was a thing.
Oh, that's right. It was a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's a big thing.
And you're positive. You get up every morning like this, don't you?
I will say 85% of the mornings. My boyfriend will say otherwise.
Yeah, he's not being interviewed, so you're okay.
I know. I can't wait for my phone to go off right now, and he's like, "What are you saying?"
So, but that's a thing for you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I left that meeting going, I don't know how she does that.
I get that a lot. Back to kind of the why. People tell me all the time, why are you so happy? How are you so positive?
Yeah.
Because what's your alternative? Sit in a corner and
Oh,
cry
yeah,
and
boohoo
have a
yourself
pity
that-
party
right.
and just emulate negativity. And that's not me, because that will make you die early.
Right.
Well, then you're supposed
I'm going
to.
to let you know, I'm going to give you permission at least one day a month that you can do that.
It's probably more than that. So the days where I've got needles in my arm and I'm,
Yep.
you know, I work and I watch Netflix, but sometimes you just kind of have a moment. You're like, yeah, this is my life for the rest of my life.
Right.
But I'm doing it to keep myself alive as long
And
as I
this
can.
book, you will live on forever, never, never, which is an awesome
So
thing.
do you want to know the other kind of why? I'm glad you
Yes.
just said that, because it resonated.
Yes.
Everyone has a fear. Generally,
Yes.
people have a big fear that they're unwilling to admit. People say, fear is successful. No, you're not. Please don't ever say that. People that,
You're right.
whoever's watching this, no one has a fear of success. They're scared to how to get there, but it's not the fear of success.
Boy, you just said a big mouthful right there.
I did. And I'm not going to elaborate, because you got to read the book for that.
Yeah, read a book.
Read the book for that. But for me, I'm 35, unmarried, no children besides the dog. Expensive dog. I just had a hysterectomy 11 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness.
Full hysterectomy. For all you out there that I can't have kids. Let's put it that way.
No, you have a dog.
Physically not possible. I do.
Well, then you get a boyfriend. You have kids. Us guys, we understand this.
Poor guy. Love you, John. Sorry. It's funny. My boyfriend's name is John.
I was going to say, wow, she loves me already. Most people hate me by now, but that's okay.
You're J-O-H-N.
Yeah,
boyfriend is
J-O-N.
J-O-N.
Okay.
Let's designate.
Okay.
So my biggest fear in life, and I have no problem saying it, just like telling anyone my weight. If you want to ask me my weight, I will tell you, because if someone out there needs to hear that thing, they're like, oh, she could say that. Like, sure, why not? Who cares? My biggest fear is that I will never have anyone to leave anything to. And that, unfortunately, adoption is a beautiful, wonderful thing, but that it's not like we're on track for, you know, that may happen.
Yeah.
But right now I'm like, I have no one, like when I die, that's the end. And when you sit there and go, oh, like that's
finite.
It is. And it's like, I'm not going to have biological children. I have an
Right.
amazing family and nieces and nephews and so much love from my extended family. But my biggest fear is I don't have anyone rather to leave anything to.
Right.
So when you tie kind of all my whys in and the premise of this book, it fits beautifully.
It does.
And if I can change one woman's thought process about herself or her future, or give her an ounce of hope and perspective, then I
Right.
did my job.
And that's a big deal.
I did my job. Hopefully it's more than one, but I do mean it when I say, if one person picks up my book who I don't know and they can attach to one of the 24 chapters,
Right.
I did my job.
So, how much of it is going to be about lending versus your personal side?
We are probably a fifth of the way through the book, and I don't think I've used the word lending or real estate, or
Right.
it may get in there. We're only a fifth of the way through, but it's not about what I do
Right.
during the day, 9 to 5. It's not 9 to 5, but
Right. But
it's
what
not
you
about
do
that.
during the day affects the rest of your day.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, I live with this world, and I live with your world, and it's, man, your boyfriend has got to be a saint, because when you guys come home, it's unload time, and we just have to sit back and go, and not try to help you fix it. Just go,
So let's jump on that.
Let's
real
jump
quick.
on that.
Let's jump
All
on
right.
communication.
Right.
We recently have been going through a series at our church, and it's about relationships. And last Sunday was the 7 deadly sins of a relationship. And I have never left a service, regardless of your affiliation, non-affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
This church, if you could take something away, right?
Mhm.
Kind of just like life lessons.
Right.
The coolest one that I thought was that we both sat there and talked about was negative speech, but not like, I don't like you, not like that.
Yeah.
Just holding on to saying, well, I used to do it this way, or the past, or
Right.
something. And so he and I, in the car on the way home, were talking about it, and I was like, we should come up with a code. So I said we should have a communication plan.
Yes.
I have a question. If you have a calendar at work, that's a plan, right?
Yep.
You have calendar meetings. You have doctor appointments. I have a lot. I have a second calendar for that.
2.
Kidding. I should. So if you have a plan for everything in life, why do you not have a communication plan?
Correct.
Why have you not written it down?
Right.
Because most people don't like to take the pen and put it on a paper because it makes it real. When you type or you write, you go, oh, you want to live here. People want to live in their head and say, no, it's cool because I'm just still thinking about it. No, put it down.
And the minute you put it down, it's real.
Right. So we started this. It's going to be a work in progress. Plus, we are making it up as we go.
Right.
But we came up with 2 different ideas about like texting during the day. Texting is the new everything. Oh, I have a thought. I need to get it out.
Right.
I have a long thought. I need to get it out.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Sometimes my texts are paragraphs. I think anyone I've ever worked with is like, yes, Lindsey writes novels.
Yes.
But that's how I think. I think and type. So our code, we have 2 things. We have TO. TO is timeout, and a 911. He's an attorney, so frequently he is not able to respond. So we're coming up with, if one of us sends a 911, it means I need you to read this, and then what you need, then we need to handle it.
Right. And
timeout is if we kind of start getting maybe down a rabbit hole that does not need to be solved.
Right.
Not negative, just like talking about who knows what, like Kiwis needs to go, whatever.
Yeah.
And if it's TO, it's like, oh, yeah, spending too much time on this.
Right.
And then both of us committed that at night when we go home, just kind of like read back through what you missed. Because there's no, like, if I wait till someone comes home to talk about everything, I'm going to forget.
Right.
And then 3 days later,
you're going to explode.
Right. So that's why you can put it in the text, but you don't have to address it. So TO and 911 are kind of where we're starting with how to make sure the other person doesn't feel angst. Like they're responsible. You're not responsible to that phone unless I say 911.
911.
But don't abuse it.
Right.
Don't abuse 911.
911. What's 911? Oh, I know what you're for dinner. What you want for dinner? That's not a 911. No. I'm just saying.
But like a communication plan. I'm developing it. I'm just kind of making this up as we go, but I thought it was cool. Like we need to write down what these things mean to each other so that we're not assuming.
That's all. Yep. Love and respect is when my wife and I did that one, pink and blue.
Yep.
I have a nothing box. Women have no idea what a nothing box is.
I was just going to say, what's a nothing box?
Yeah. Well, a nothing box is when a guy is like.
You mean really, your head?
Yeah, exactly. So you sit there and go, what are you thinking? Nothing. Literally, guys can do that. Women cannot do that. You compartmentalize everything. And you have boxes for everything except for
and flowcharts and sticky notes and color codes.
So you have no idea what it's like to have a nothing box because as guys, we're really good at that. We're like, what do you think? Nothing. So,
I can't relate, but I will listen and understand that.
But John will know. You go to John and go, hey, how many nothing boxes you got? I got a good nothing box.
Yes.
Guarantee he's got one. But anyway, we digress. So this is all going to be in the book, right? That is so. Is John okay with being in the book?
He is. No one's mentioned by name.
Okay, so
and Shirley does a beautiful job at taking tough subjects or even tough people in your life, and turning it. Nothing ever bashes anyone, and in fact, we're going above and beyond to make sure that no one in my life, friend, family, anyone, is like, oh, that's me.
Right.
I mean. If you think it's you, it's probably you.
Yeah.
Besides Jessica. Jessica will know who she is. She's my ride or die. She's my ride or die. In a good way.
Yeah.
But she knows how to craft the message to not be like, well, it's like you said, it's not a puff piece and it's not a bash set, whatever they call it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
a bad tabloid where it's not that.
You're not out there throwing everybody under the trains.
Correct. And again, it's not about them. It's about what have I gone through, and not to like be Debbie Downer, but some of the high topics, abuse, rape, a job loss where it was someone fabricated things. Anyway, I don't know how to say that without saying that.
And I don't know if everybody knows this, and they probably do, but and your weight loss was absolutely mind blowing. Oh my gosh!
It's funny because I'm now so engulfed in the last 14 months of my medical journry.
Yes.
That I kind of forgot about that. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's my second birthday, and I tell everyone.
When I first met you, and you used to, I used to be bigger, and I'm like, no. And then you showed me pictures. I mean, you weren't. I mean, to me, you weren't huge.
I was 250. I'm 5'5". That's not okay.
But it's like, well, people are beautiful. I don't care how big you are, how small you are, but
I wasn't. My body was failing.
Yeah. So that, and then you lost all, and you're gorgeous, and you're
And
way
it's
to
not
go,
about
John. I'm just
but
saying.
I don't want to be pretty here. I want
You wanna
to
be pretty here.
emulate pretty. I do.
Right.
I want my words to be uplifting.
Yes.
And
Right.
powerful when whatever you take away from it. My goal is every time you leave a room, you better have one new acquaintance or friend.
Right.
Don't ever. That's a wasted
See,
trip. It's a wasted trip to the bar.
I'm just opposite of you. I'm like, I pissed somebody off, and I'm okay with that.
It's okay, John. We understand.
Yeah, I'm just a mean guy. So anyway, back to the book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be in February.
24. That's like all you need to remember is 24.
You got a year.
Okay, you think that sounds
I'm not
like a long
throwing any
time.
pressure on you, but got a year.
Well, we already have the cover done.
Well, that's good.
And by we, I mean they.
Yeah, I'll say
I picked my color, which is why I'm wearing it. It's the only shirt I own in my closet. That's my author color.
author color.
So it's a blue, green, whatever color.
Almost like almost a tealish kind of blue.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
I wanted Tiffany blue, but what I learned in my marketing research is it's very difficult to replicate, probably because they have some form of a patent on it. So I went with just a sea foamy green.
That
not too
fine.
girly, not too stark, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I had to pick an author color. I was like, oh, this is getting real.
Yes, it is.
When you have to pick a color and commit.
Next thing you know, your car is going to be wrapped, and
stop. Don't give me that.
you're going to be on the side of it.
QR code on the side of the car.
Right.
Scan me, but not while you're driving.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, that's QR code. Yep.
I have a coworker that has a very noticeable car out in Texas.
Yeah.
And her license plate is also quite unique. And she said all the people that post on Facebook about it, she's like, they're just doing free advertising for me. I'm like, God, it's so smart. Smart.
Yep. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, where are you? Is this going to be? It's going to be hardback and softback, or is it just going to be?
No,
on
not
Amazon?
hard. It'll be Amazon. It'll be Kindle, digital, or print.
Okay.
The Audible is a TBD. We are not done with those discussions yet.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we started.
We
Yes, I love Audibles. I'm just saying.
I do too, but when we're looking at audience and scope, and I'm probably sure I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to sit here and commit on TV right now.
No committing.
Yes.
So. What is it going to be? Is it strictly Amazon? Or are you going to be on all the platforms that you can be on?
If I say strictly Amazon, then I'm limiting myself, aren't I?
Got a girl. See, I was
trying
to catch her, but
I can't answer that question.
And do you?
I don't know what my future holds.
Do you have chapter names yet?
Oh, I do.
What do you got?
I'll give you.
Can we ask?
I will give you one.
Okay.
Don't ask me the number of the chapter. I'm trying to think.
That's a weird chapter.
Are you ready?
Don't ask me the name of the chapter.
Now I should name a chapter that. All right, ready?
Yes. Go ahead.
Everyone's in charge of their own underwear.
Oh, I like that.
I can't wait to see what everyone thinks it's about.
I kind of get it.
If you're in my family on one side of my family, all of you are probably laughing right now and know exactly what it is.
Right.
But there's a group of 20 people in the world that probably know.
You're in charge of your own underwear. Now, in my house, that would be like when you do the laundry, you do your laundry. I'm not doing your underwear.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not that way.
See, well,
totally different.
See, that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And then, I can give you a second one because I've already alluded to it.
Okay.
Everyone should have a Jessica.
Oh. Okay. Because she's your ride or die.
She is, but it's more than that.
Oh, okay.
It's also kind of the premise of the book.
Oh, gotcha.
A little bit.
Are you bipolar? Is it something we kind of need to know?
Oh, I was like, no.
Multiple personalities. Hi, hold on. Jessica's going to show up. What do you want? No.
No.
Okay. That's good.
No.
That makes me feel a lot better. I feel safer now. It's just thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't feel safe?
Yeah.
It's me.
I always feel safe.
know.
That's all good. It's all good. So, okay. So you get February 24.
Say the date.
2424. I got it. I'm there with you.
I'm going to ingrain it.
And people will they be able to get it on your website?
Yes.
As well as?
So I'm learning a lot about writing a book and launching a book, of which a world I never knew existed. It's funny how no matter what you do in life, when you tackle a new task, there's so much to it. And I thought you just sat down and, excuse my naivete, started writing.
Yeah.
Nope. Not even close to what I do.
Not the
I was
way
like,
it works.
okay, this is why you hire professionals.
Yep.
Again, I'm not going to spend all this time and energy, and I do have a GoFundMe for it.
Right. There you go.
Because it's a very large expense.
That is.
And I'm just saying, you know what? Blessings are going to come. It's going to get funded somehow. And we just keep smiling and saying it'll happen. because it'll happen. But back to that, you don't just sit down and write a book. And so I truly was like, well, what is the timeline? And the pre-orders, I guess, are the most important.
They are very important.
So 2424 is a really cool date where you can read it that morning, but all y'all are going to have it pre-ordered before then.
Yes, absolutely.
Correct. So it's about a 3 to 6 month pre-launch, and it's a whole way you do it. There's a lot to it.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Gosh,
for having me
this was
again.
awesome. Did
you learn something? Because that's always my goal.
actually learned a lot. So
did I inspire you? Did I do anything to make you're smiling?
I think I'm gonna. I literally just did a show with a lady that does books, and I've known her for like 15 years.
Okay.
And she's like, it's about time, and I'm like, oh, no. And I'm sitting there going, no, I think I'll do it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of fun.
So put it out there in the universe and then do it.
I already did. I said I'm going to do it.
Okay.
That's about my universe.
You got to write it down.
So if you want to find this young lady, LindseyMWhite.com, and you can go in there and look and read her story and get signed up and get in, contact her and give her some support. I mean, that's a big kind of deal. So we'll see everybody next week on Open for Business.